Everything's rolling, yeah. Is Kate rolling? Yes, sir. Okay, upstairs camera, marker. Stage left camera marker. Stage right camera marker. Guitar GoPro marker. Banjo GoPro marker. Canon side shot marker. Congrats.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Renee Cobb. This is Red Barn Radio's 18th broadcast season, and tonight is Red Barn Radio's 680th live concert performance. Tonight, Red Barn Radio presents Theo and Brenna McMillan. They are originally from Winchester, Kentucky. You will hear the sounds of bluegrass, old country, and their roots-influenced original material. Please welcome Theo and Brenna to the Red Barn stage.
Another sunrise without you here, and I am sure you're fine, it's clear you move on like a storm that I don't fear, a storm that makes me sleep well when it's near. And like the rain on my roof as I'm laying in my bed, something keeps on pounding in my head. Do you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go? In the moment that I realized, did you already know that love for you is nothing more than a reason to say no? Do you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go? I miss your smile on the long days, and so much more than that, I miss the way you were. It's abstract, but to me it's real. I never felt the way you made me feel. I like a wonder of the world that I'm never gonna see. I know you're out there somewhere without me. Do you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go? In the moment that I realized, did you already know that love for you is nothing more than a reason to say no? Do you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go? It's been long enough to wish you the best. I hope you find a love that stands the test of time. And meanwhile, I'm gonna be alone, wishing for the love that I had known. And I'll be a man, I'll get over you, but I still can't help asking if you knew that you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go. In the moment that I realized that you already know that love for you is nothing nothing more than a reason to say no? Do you always leave a broken heart behind you when you go? Yeah, when you go.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. WEKU is Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, serving Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta on Main Street in historic Georgetown, Kentucky. Broussard's is on Facebook. Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities, listen locally, and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and listenlocally.net. Griffin Gate Resort and Spa, a luxury spa located in the Marriott in Lexington, Kentucky. The Griffin Gate Marriott Resort and Spa is the ideal choice for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky. And Accuprint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter, and hopefully like us on Facebook. Here are the hosts of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
On the Red Barn stage tonight is Theo and Brenna McMillan. They launched their bluegrass band in May of 2018, and they now make their home in Nashville, Tennessee. Please welcome Theo and Brenna. Please welcome Theo and Brenna back to the Red Barn stage.
Well, I wish I was the wind, blowing clouds across the sky, moving on the tops of mountains. I'd kiss away the tears you cry.
Oh, I wish I was the rain, falling softly to the ground, bringing life to where I landed with a peaceful healing sound.
I'll ask of you, my love, if it's me you're dreaming of. Close your eyes and whisper a prayer that God would breathe upon us there. How I love the wind and rain, and my love for you is true.
Bringing lots of seeds of longing, it was in the rain they grew. I'll ask of you, my love, it's me you're dreaming of. Close your eyes and whisper a prayer that God would breathe upon us there.
Of you, my love, if it's me you're dreaming of. Close your eyes and whisper a prayer that God would breathe upon us there.
Thank you very
much. It's wonderful to be here at Red Barn Radio in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm Theo, and this is Brenna, my sister, and we're going to make that very clear. We're not together, although we get that all the time. What a cute couple when we're traveling on the road. And that's a song that one of our backing band, it's just the two of us tonight. We sometimes play as a duo, sometimes with a band, and one of our bandmates wrote that with her brother, so we figured we would do it and kind of steal it
Her
from
own
them.
brother, not her brother. But we do have other brothers, but yeah. It's very confusing.
We'll get into all that as we go through. Why don't you introduce this next song? This is one of yours.
Yeah, this next one is, well, I'll start it off to say that I like sad songs typically, but this one's upbeat but still sad. It's about a frog that didn't want to live anymore. And I got to, observe his mental anguish, I guess, one day as I was sitting watching him, and he was just a random frog. I didn't know him, but strangers can have bad days too, and then you see it, and then it's too late. So anyway, he just didn't seem to want to go on anymore. He kept trying to do things, so I'd move him to safety time after time, and then I'm sure since I left, he's moved on to frog heaven.
Yeah. But she wrote this instrumental song, and we ended up putting it on our first record. We're going to do a bit of a stripped-down version of it tonight.
Yeah.
Without the rest of the band.
Just a lot of banjo.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's a banjo. So yeah, it's just kind of an up and down kind of a thing. We have emotions like that too. So I'm sure we can all relate here.
This one's called Old Elmer.
That was old Elmer. His life really fell apart there a few times.
This next one is one that we've loved and listened to for many years, and it's one of the most recorded songs in history. We do it in almost all of our live sets because we love the guy that wrote it, we love the guy that made it famous, and audiences really connect with this song as well. It's just one of the best songs ever written, in my opinion, and we love doing it together with a little two-part harmony. So. It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. Bed makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon someone that keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory and keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns now that bind me, or something that somebody said because they thought we fit together walking. It's knowing that the world will not be cursing nor forgetting when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyard and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and a summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind.
I dipped my cup of soup back from the gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard.
My
Beard a rustling coal pile and a dirty hat pulled low across my face.
through cupped hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memory, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. You're gentle on my mind.
Well, this next song we're going to do is from Emmylou Harris, and I sure like her music, her voice, and everything she does, basically. I got to meet her recently, sort of. When I say that, I meant that I was afraid to say hello, so I just stood in front of her awkwardly for just a few minutes, and then I just let her walk away.
Yeah.
So that was cool. It was close enough. I still saw her beautiful face and her silver hair, and just, she was probably a little confused of what was going on with me. Anyway, this is a sad one that I love about getting stuck in your hometown. That's all.
Me and my best friend Lillian and her coon-tick hound dog Gideon, sitting on the front porch cooling in the shade, singing every song the radio played, waiting for the Alabama sun to go down to red dirt girls in a red dirt town, me and Lillian. just across the line, a little southeast of Meridian. She loved her brother, I remember back when he was fixing up his 49 Indian. Told her little sister, gonna ride the wind up around the moon and back again. Never made it further than Vietnam. I was standing there with her when the telegram come for Lillian. Now he's lying somewhere a million miles from Meridian. She said there's not much hope for a red dirt girl. Somewhere out there is a great big world, that's where I'm bound. The stars might fall in Alabama. One of these days I'm gonna swing my hammer down, away from this red dirt town. I'm gonna make a joyful sound. She grew up tall and she grew up thin. She buried that old dog Gideon by the crepe myrtle bush in the back of the yard. Daddy grew mean and Mama leaned hard. Got in trouble with a boy from town. Figured that she might as well settle down, so she dug right in. Just across the line in a little southeast of Meridian. Well, she tried hard to love him, but never did take. Just another way for the heart to break, so she learned to bend. The thing they don't tell you about the blues when you got 'em, keep on falling. There ain't no bottom, there ain't no end, not for Lillian. Nobody knows when she started to skid. She was only 27 and she had 5 kids. Could have been the whiskey, could have been the pills, could have been the dream she was trying to kill. There won't be a mention in the news of the world of the life and the death of a red dirt girl named Lillian. She never made it further across the line than Meridian. The stars still fall in Alabama the night she finally laid that hammer down. Without a sound in the red dirt ground.
Thank you.
Now here's Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker.
Hey, thanks, Renee. Tonight we are with Theo and Brenna. I'm holding on to their new album, 2019 album, anyway. It's called When You Go, and at least based on my look at the set list, it looks like they'll be performing most, if not all, of the things from this CD. You're not obligated to if you aren't. I just... But it's great to have you all here and really enjoying
happy to be
your music. And you've been here before,
I have.
right?
Yeah,
Have
this
you?
is my first
That's
time.
his first time.
This is your first time.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Brenna, maybe before I forget, could you tell us more about that sort of circumstance that had you standing before
The frog?
her wonderful? No, I was thinking more along the lines of Emmy Lou.
Oh, Amy Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, I got a text. It was kind of like behind the door kind of a text that, hey, Amy Lou's going to be at this one place tonight. So you better make it out there.
Oh, down in Nashville.
Yeah, down in
Gotcha.
Nashville.
Right.
And so I made it on down there, and I was all excited. And we tried to dance as close to the stage as we could so that we could just stare at. It was her and Vince Gill down there. So we stared at them a lot then, instead of really focusing on dance moves. Who cares about that?
I was
Understandable.
dancing, like everybody who was there, if there were girls or guys, were just trying to couple dances close to the stage
Close
as
to the
possible.
stage as possible. Yeah, because there was lots of people in there. I guess a lot of people got that backdoor text there. But anyway, so I feel a little less special now, but that's okay. But yeah, so she got off the stage and then she was walking, and then I kind of like stepped forward like, hi, and then, but I didn't really say anything, and so she stopped, and then we just kind of were standing there, and I was just like,
You mean that, like stopped as in like?
Yeah,
I'm
because
ready.
I stood, like stepped out into her path in a way. So I don't know if she appreciated that, but anyway, maybe one day I'll get to meet her and tell her that hilarious story. When I was a local unknown celebrity, and that she was a celebrity. And anyway,
Wouldn't it be interesting to? Yeah, she could be someplace telling this exact same
she's
story.
like, this
tonight,
girl got
so
in my
this-
way, and she didn't say anything. Thought we were gonna fight. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
she might tell it a different way.
Yeah, maybe she
So
loves
I really
me.
wanted to meet this. I really wanted to meet this person, and I didn't know what to say.
And they didn't
And-
know what to say either. Yeah, it was a good moment. I'll cherish that.
So you've been an Emmylou fan for a long time, or?
Well, a longish time. I got this Will the Circle Be Unbroken volume that really made me fall in love with her. I know could have been in love with her before that, but I wasn't. I just liked her. And then after that record, I was commuting back and forth to school at Berea College for my last year, and I wore that thing out. And she has 2 or 3 songs on there with the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and so forth that I just played those on repeat. And now we have to do some of those in the band because I was like, well, we have to do these.
I think we're doing one more from that
Yeah,
set.
and a
Yeah,
little
we're doing one song from that later
Are
on.
we? Oh, yeah.
Did you ever listen to her album, the White Shoes album? That's it.
Does
Yeah.
she have white shoes on, or is it called White Shoes?
I know that's one of the title tracks.
Oh.
Anyway, we should talk about
I don't
that.
know.
Great, great album. Yeah, great
Yeah,
album
I'll
with some
look it
neat
up.
tunes on it. Yeah. All right, so let's let's clear my throat first. 'Tis the season
Oh,
to
yes.
be
Under the weather.
froggy.
Hopefully not like Old Elmer, though.
No. Before we go to Berea and your adult life, I have to ask if you wouldn't mind sort of navigating me through your family life. In your materials, it talks about all the siblings,
Yes.
and I think I had just imagined. We were talking before. I had sort of imagined maybe 1 or maybe 2 moms birthing your 10 siblings, and maybe that is technically what happened. But maybe you could navigate us through all of these siblings you have. And are there 10 others?
10 others besides us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So.
Yeah, so our family adopted from
Get in there.
Liberia, West Africa. Over a series of years, we accumulated more adopted children through different circumstances. A passion to do that on my parents' part and on our family's part. We had 4 and 2 more and then 2 more and then 1 girl who was never fully adopted. So we ended up with 12, 9 from West Africa, and then the 3, Brenna, myself, and my oldest brother, who are biological. And that was like from 2007 to 2010.
Okay.
During that time.
So you say it was a passion of your parents and your family. You mean that?
Well, they asked us about
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And-
we were all for it, and we still are. I'm very grateful that our family was able to do that, and it kind of changed the dynamic of the family. Not kind of, it did change the dynamic of the family in a significant way. I played soccer for 4 years because of that, and I played soccer at Berea College because of that, and music kind of interwove within that. But it was a pretty wild ride there in high school years. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Imagine having like 10 teenagers, because we're all, what's our youngest
10
sibling is
10 years
20
apart.
now, and then our oldest is 30. So
Yeah.
there was 10 teenagers in the house wreaking havoc. We did that for a while. So.
that's been reeking socks. I mean,
Oh,
just
there was
the
that too. Yeah, the guys'
reeking-
room stunk so bad.
Not as bad as the girls' room.
I hear what you're saying. So, so, did your family have the means to provide all of you with sort of ample space? I mean, I think about my growing up, and we felt crowded. There were three boys, and we all had our own rooms,
Oh,
and we felt like we were always in each other's way.
I guess it depends
So-
on what your definition of ample space is.
Yeah, well, it's like that. That's sort of my model is that, the kids have their own room.
Oh.
So
We didn't,
a spoiled version.
I don't think they planned on adopting 8 within 3 years. That was a pretty big surprise in some ways, but it was just the way it worked out. And so the most it was 5 guys in one room. So that was a lot.
That's
It was
a lot
big
of bunk
room.
beds. We just would keep adding bunk beds,
Yeah.
and then we added a half bath, so that was 1.5 baths between us. But before that, it was a mess, and we still, shared that shower. And Sunday mornings was disastrous every time.
There were like kids sitting on the steps
sure.
up to the shower, just
Yeah,
like
you
on
have to
each
get
step.
up
waiting to
earlier
go.
just to get in line
Oh, you
for the
guys.
shower.
Yeah.
I just didn't shower very much. Maybe our room did stink more.
There we go,
saying.
to the truth.
Yeah.
So were you living in Winchester then?
Yes.
Okay, and what did, so I don't think I really need to ask what your parents did. They raised children, for one thing. Did your dad or mom have another vocation?
Dad's a chemist. Lexmark here in town.
Oh, okay.
He still is, I reckon.
Which you sort of are too, right?
I am.
That's that was your study,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did chemistry, and now I'm a chemist.
And were you all homeschooled when you were kids?
Yeah, all the way through.
Yeah. A couple sibs went off, and I was horrified that they got to go to public school after I was homeschooled all the way through. But I think the youngest two got to go to school.
For a little while.
I always just wanted to play sports, in the more competitive teams, but
And
That's
is there not that opportunity in the
not
homeschooling
as
network?
much. You can play in private leagues, and we did some of that, but they're a little more low key, just depending.
We were
I guess.
involved in like co-ops and things that have sports programs. It's a little different. It's just a different. We don't play against high schools. We don't play against public high schools.
Yeah, it was like against the Catholic schools, and so we had to wear a lot of clothing, playing volleyball, trying to play
Oh, right.
in really long shorts over the knee pads. So I'm not bitter about
I did
that,
not have
but-
to
No,
wear
you don't seem
long
it at
shorts.
all. You don't seem it at all.
No,
I was
yeah.
allowed to wear standard uniforms, just for the record, but
You're a guy, nobody cares.
And so in your materials, it also you also say that in your family, despite the fact that there were so many of you, that you were all sort of supported with all the different kinds of talents you had. Were your parents musicians or musically inclined?
Dad can play the trombone, and he did the
marching band.
marching band
Oh.
stuff when he was in
Do
high
that again?
school.
I was going to say, he was a pom-pom. Right.
And then Mom, she was an opera.
Oh,
So
Student
of
for a little
opera.
while, yeah.
Yeah.
huh.
Sang a lot in show choir and stuff like that growing up, and we sang in choirs from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And
In
then got
church
into,
choirs or?
community choirs.
Some
there was a
homeschool choirs.
Homeschool choir.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Church choirs occasionally. When we were going to a church that had that, we would sing in church choirs as well.
All right.
Yes.
Very cool. So so then you went on into your high school years. You were homeschooled all the way through, and in the second part of our interview, in a few minutes, we'll talk about Berea College. So why don't we move on and go to some more music for now, and
Sounds
then we'll
good.
come back and talk about your adulthood. All right, great.
Awesome.
Thanks. Hey, you welcome back, folks. Theo and Brenna McMillan from Winchester, Kentucky.
Huh?
Should I talk about this one?
Yeah, after this one.
I've been waiting to set myself free, but you're always right there in my dreams. I use time to hold up the world, but time always leaves me. Can't you see the little ghost fall
These things are heavy and they won't go away.
There's a hallway in the back of my mind, and I try so hard not to find the key that unlocks that door, so I don't have to open it anymore.
And can't you see the little ghost following me? She carries around unwanted memories, each one too painful to look at today. These things are heavy and they won't go away.
Thank you. That's a sad one that I wrote on purpose, sad, you know, because I like sad ones, so I added another one to the world. But yeah, it's just kind of about your past haunting you, and at least at some time we have kind of a rough time in our lives.
That one is on our record that we cut in Nashville last year in the late fall months. Lots of late evenings after work, and that's my favorite song on the record. If y'all want to find that online on our website, theoandbrenna.com, or if you have streaming services, we're on all those. And that's actually one of our best performing songs on those too. I think it really connects with people in a real way. So grateful that she wrote that song. This next one is a Bob Dylan song that we learned from probably my favorite bluegrass musician, Tim O'Brien. And he dressed it up. As you know, oftentimes Bob Dylan songs are best when somebody else sang them. So
Hopefully.
we love Bob Dylan for sure.
Nobody takes that wrong.
Yeah. This is one called Senor.
I think it's about a drug cartel.
I'm not sure what it's about.
Senor, Senor, can you tell me where we're headed? Lincoln County Road or Armageddon? It seems like I've been down this way before. Is there any truth to that, Senor? Senor, Senor, can you tell me where she's hiding? How long are we gonna be riding? How long must I keep my eyes glued to the door? Will there be any comfort there, Senor? There's a wicked wind still blowing on that upper deck, and there's an iron cross still hanging from around her neck, and there's a marching band still playing in that vacant lot, where she held me in her arms one time and said, forget me not. Senor, Senor, I can see that painted wagon, smell the tail of the dragon. Can't stand the suspense here anymore. Will there be any comfort there, Senor? Well, the last thing I remember before I stripped in the hill was a trailer full of fools bogged down in a magnetic field. and a gypsy with a smoking flag and the flashing rain. And he said, son, this ain't a dream no more, it's the real thing. Senor, senor, you know their hearts are hard as leather. Let me get it together. I gotta pick myself up off the floor. I'm ready when you are, senor, senor, senor. Let's overturn these tables and disconnect these cables. This place don't make sense to me no more. Can you tell me what we're waiting for, senor? Seems like I've been down this way before. Is there any truth to that, senor?
Thank you so much, and I do want to say thank you for everybody that came out tonight to support us, and at this cold last show of the year, and we'll be turning around driving back to Nashville tonight. That was Senior by Bob Dylan. What?
Yeah, we drove up here today from Nashville, and
That's right. And this next one is one that I'm glad that Al's here tonight. Our band director from Berea College is here and being wonderfully supportive with family and friends. It's great to see everybody that's here. And this is the first song that we ever did in the band that I wrote, and I was very grateful to do it. We put it on a record at least once. And
the band that you're with, did you say that?
Yeah, back in college, and we'll get into that, I guess, in the next interview. But she and I played in a band, Brenna and I played in a band in college, and now we still do this song, which is kind of fun for me because it has aged well, at least for the rest of the band.
It's agent without any gray hair yet, so.
No gray hair. This is called Watch the River Run.
The deepest ocean is far away, and you wanna travel, but you wanna stay. Time is drawing lines on your face, and you're watching it run away. You wanna drink from the purest water, stand on a mountain and call it your home. You wanna see your sons and your daughters grow up happy and grow up strong. And you want a story that reads like a book, one that's worth the time that it took to stand at the bottom and still see the sun, and watch the river run, and watch the river run. Love is sacred, love is kind, love is cruel when you change your mind. You don't remember why you tried to soften the blow somehow. Morning is coming, morning is here, one more day and one more year. Love is sacred, love is kind, but what you want is hard to find. And you want a story that reads like a book, one that's worth the time that it took to stand at the bottom and still see the sun, and watch the river run, and watch the river run. I see the river flowing and you write your story and watch it come true. Rise with the morning, rise like the tide. It'll give you power, power inside. And you want a story that reads like a book, one that's worth the time that it took to stand at the bottom and still see the sun and watch the river run, and watch the river run.
Thank you.
Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the help of Chef Greg Scott and Broussard's Delta Kitchen, featuring authentic flavors of New Orleans and the Mississippi Delta. On Main Street in historic Georgetown, Broussard's is also on Facebook.
Listen locally, working in concert with people to embrace opportunities. Listen locally and engage in shared experiences, including music, theater, poetry, dialogue, and conversation. More on Facebook, Instagram, and at listenlocally.net.
Our program is also brought to you by the Griffin Gate Resort and Spa. The Griffin Gate Resort is perfect for your next visit to Lexington, Kentucky.
And AccuPrint, providing printing, design, and fulfillment. Online at accuprint.us.
And now welcome to the second half of tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio comes to you live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome back, folks. Theo and Brenna.
We're gonna do a song now from our record that we recorded last fall and released in early April of, or I guess late March of 2019. We actually had a release party here in Lexington, and we'll be back at the Burl where we did that in February. So y'all mark your calendars for that with the full band show. That's February 7th. You know what? I'll have to double check, but the dates will be out very soon. So if you're not signed up for the email listing, go to Google or our website and sign up for that. This is one that I wrote several years back after a pseudo breakup, as those happen to go, right? And this is one that I think I probably wrote it at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's about, the frustrating feelings of romance and broken hearts and all that good stuff. This is called Why Am I in Love Again?
I had it on wide open plains and selfish gain. I needed nothing, at least that's the way I felt inside. Damn my foolish pride. And there was something in your eyes that made me lie to myself all this time. Now I wonder, why am I in love again? I tried so hard to hold it all in. What am I afraid of? Here I am, hoping it'll pass just like it has before. So I don't have to pick the pieces of my heart up. There is only one thing left to do. Tell you I'm in love with you. No use trying to pretend that I am not in love again. Living in a new world, no boundaries, no limits to my dreams. Broken like a thief one night, and you broke something in me, and it kinda set me free. Maybe something in your eyes that made a spark ignite in my life. Now I wonder, why am I in love love again. I tried so hard to hold it all in. What am I afraid of? Here I am, hoping it'll pass just like it has before. So I don't have to pick the pieces of my heart up. There is only one thing left to do. Tell you I'm in love with you. No use trying to pretend that I am not in love. I'm in love. Oh, why am I in love again? I tried so hard to hold it all in. What am I afraid of? Here I am, hoping it'll pass just like it has before. So I don't have to pick the pieces of my heart up. There is only one thing left to do. Tell you I'm in love with you. No use trying to pretend that I am not in love again.
Thank you.
That was Why Am I in Love Again? We ask ourselves that all the time. Sometimes. In different times of life. Anyway.
Sometimes I ask her, why are you in love again?
I know. Well, I'll say the same thing back at you. So.
True.
Anyway, so moving on to this next song. Back to Emmy Lou and all that. So I heard this off of the Will the Circle Be Unbroken Volume 2. I recommend that as a good listen for driving or sitting or whatever you're doing when you're listening to music. It's a good one. And heard this one, and I was like, we have to do this because we like cowboys a lot. Our mom's from Texas, and so automatically we just like cowboys and horses. I'm from here, and it's horse capital of the world and everything. So it's called Riding Alone, and it's sad.
Make sure I'm on tune. I do want to talk about this.
Soon.
This is an example, too, of a song that we do with our bluegrass band. They play all the parts behind us, and it might not be the bluegrassiest song in the world, but we just really love to pick material, and hopefully you've noticed that if you've listened to any of our stuff that is soulful and heartfelt, emotional.
We like to just make people sad.
Yeah. Maybe we
Sometimes
should just
bring them up with a little bit of joy and then take them right back to the Kleenex. All that. And we
But
don't
this
want
one
to take
fits
you
into that.
We're tuning so that you guys don't cry too much on this one.
She saved him from whiskey, was his constant companion. See him out riding at dawn. Gave him a reason to shoulder the season. And now when you see him, he's riding alone. She lay down beside him to touch him and guide him, and turn round his head on the darkest of days. She still sits beside her, remembering her smiling, and whispers to him that old song he would play.
Please lay down beside me, I love you. Never wanted to bid this adieu. No red river ever ran deeper than an old cowboy's love. Than an old cowboy's love that runs true.
Very grateful to Emmylou and Nitty Gritty Dirt Band for putting that on the record. That one's called Riding Alone. We've been doing this next one. It's one of our newest songs, probably the newest song that we do next to the other Emmylou song we did earlier. And it's one that I wrote earlier this year. Basically just finished it in, I think, September. And immediately I played it for the band, and they said, we got to do this in the set. It's a little out there, a little abstract.
A little abstract.
That's all right.
That's all I was going to say.
But this one's about different ways of looking at the world, morality, the book of Genesis, whatever. You can come up with whatever you want interpretation for it. Don't think
Try
about
to
it
get
too
theological. Oh, I mean,
You do-
I
oh,
was
do you
saying you
think about
should
it too
start
much?
thinking
Okay.
about things.
much. Yeah. This one's called Wildflowers.
Go down to the corner to look at the flowers. I wonder who put them on the side of the road. I say they're wild and you say they're not. They look a little bit too beautiful. Ooh, maybe there's a line around the world that you live in. Ooh, it's a thought that I had. Maybe you haven't given much time. Much time. And were there wildflowers in Eden? Or did Eve plant them all herself in the cool of the evening? Before the darkness fell, is it unburied or freedom, or the walls of the cell, or someone that you believe in is holy in himself? I'm not talking about something you wrote down a long time ago to keep you on the path. I write it in stone, remember the promise, hold on to the place where you're at. Ooh, maybe there's a light around the world that you live in. Ooh, maybe that light is just what I needed all this time. This time, and were there wildflowers in Eden, or did Eve plant them all herself in the cool of the evening? Before the darkness fell, is it unburied or freedom, or the walls of the cell, or someone that you believe in, and he's only in himself? Were there wildflowers the darkness fell. Is it unbridled freedom with the walls of a cell? Or someone that you believe in and he's holy in himself? Or someone that you believe in and he's holy in himself?
Here's Red Barn Radio's Brad Becker.
You notice I came up early in that song because I wanted to have the headphones on so I could make sure I could hear all the lyrics and hear all the questions. And now I wish I'd been over there because there were so many questions. I think I'm going to need the whole holiday to answer all the questions.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's a really neat song. And it's cool the way you two sort of pull it off together. And I felt that way about a lot of the things you all have been doing. It's really, it must be musically a challenge for you guys to come up here as, as a duo. You don't have a bass to, thump it along.
It's definitely different.
Got to listen to each other,
full
I guess.
band.
Yeah, yeah. But you like both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's just like they both have their perks. We get to really take the limelight the whole time as far as trying to play our instruments and play together with each other and create something with just two instruments versus in our band. I mean, we have incredible musicians that play with us. They're phenomenal and they shine really bright, and we love to make them shine and give them great solo sections and good singers too. All of them are great singers. So it's just a different dynamic, and we love both. So.
Who are some of the players that you routinely play with in Nashville?
We have, in our band? Or,
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the band.
Everybody, that. Our fiddle player's named Maddie Denton. She's from Murfreesboro, and she's won 14 state championships of fiddle stuff.
I think we met her on the fiddle circuit.
I'm sure,
At some point in
she's
time, yeah.
great. And she was a national champ in
Grandmaster,
2016. Yeah. And then we got Mary Meyer on mandolin. That was a lot of M's right there.
And a lot of female vocals.
Yes, and she throws the third harmony for us, and she used to be in the Meyer band, had a family band growing up. And then we have Evan Windsor on bass most of the time. He's kind of from a bunch of places. Sometimes he has an English accent.
Yeah,
and
he's from
then
Britain, sort of.
He's also from California, so it gets all
So he might be
confusing.
faking.
He might be lying. Yeah,
No,
we really
it's
don't know.
when he comes back from England, he's kind of whoa, and then it goes away. That's my English accent.
When you all play at the Burl and whatever that February date is this the
Yeah,
group
it'll
you'll be there with?
full-
Yeah, it'll be a 5-piece bluegrass band. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. And we'll play probably much of the same material. We have some other stuff that we're working up and
Yeah.
some
Got a
plans
few
for the
new songs
new year.
on
So,
the
yeah.
Oh,
burner.
what I was going to ask you is, so when you do a lot of this stuff, duo stuff, do you feel like you bring some of these tunes back to the band with kind of a different feel to it? Do you discover some things when you're doing these songs as a duo that you bring back to the band and say, hey, let's
definitely
do this?
evolves them a little bit. I
Yeah.
think.
Oftentimes, she and I will pick material ahead of time. And if we really like a song, we'll send it back and forth and talk about what we'd like to hear on it. And then in a rehearsal or before, we'll kind of spring it on the band like, hey, we'd like to do this. And then they also add their own arrangement ideas at times.
There's a lot of opinions
right.
with a lot of
I'm
women
sure.
going on. So, it gets from the beginning of our ideas to the end of everyone's ideas, it's a whole new great feeling.
And these are folks playing with a lot of other people too. I mean, are these
they played
folks?
a few other bands too, but we're trying to lock them in there. Make
Yeah,
them
Trying to
sure.
give
us
them
all the
enough
time.
work that they don't have to play anywhere else. That would be
Yes.
the key.
Well, it's nice that you two have solid jobs
Yeah.
in this sense, so you can fall back. But let's go back at our last Theo and Brenna journey stop. We were in you guys were waiting in line to take showers for your 10 siblings.
Still waiting.
And then, but you got through, you were homeschooled through your sort of high school years. Does that mean at 18 it was time to go to college, or could you finish conceivably homeschooling at 16? And
Maybe I stopped doing school when I was like 10,
The
but
question- did you ever do school? That's the
I don't
question.
know.
I'm not sure.
I get
I
it.
applied to college when I was like 17 and then went when I was 18.
Okay.
I just figured might as well go when I'm legal age to just get out of the house. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know why I didn't go earlier, but
Did you both always have your sights on Berea?
I did
From
not.
the
I had
get-go?
my sights on a few Nashville schools because I had visited there and had like pretty starry-eyed experiences, and I'm really glad I didn't go to school in Nashville because now that I live there, I'm glad I went when I did. It was better. It was a better fit after I'd been at school, and I honestly probably wouldn't have lived in Nashville if not for Berea because of playing in the bluegrass band at Berea. So I actually applied to one school my senior year, and wasn't sure if I would even go to school that year. Figured I might like take one more year, and I got into Berea, and so I went.
By the time you all were finished with high school, were you both pretty proficient with your instruments already at that point, or did that really happen at Berea?
that was,
It depends. I don't know. Like, I guess I played a lot of piano when I was younger. So fiddle and guitar, I needed some work on for sure. And
you did.
Al gave me the ability to work on fiddle plenty right away.
Yes.
So I played fiddle mostly in college.
I don't
Oh,
think I was
okay.
very good at banjo yet either. I mean, we could sing. That was probably the best thing we could do by then. And then just playing, Al gave us the chance to really he just kind of threw us in there. So we just had to be good and better. So that really made us work harder. Because I think when we adopted, we just kind of didn't, because we had kind of a band going, and then it was time to focus on the family. So then we put that aside for a second, and then I was like, oh yeah, I do play the banjo, and I'd like to keep doing that forever.
I remember this.
So yeah.
So you majored in, did you do your chemistry major in Berea, at Berea?
Did I do my chemistry major at Berea? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Was he distracting you?
I was a little
You can't do
confused. Yeah. Yes, I did do chemistry there.
Okay.
That was-
Yeah, gotcha. And you also computer science?
Yeah, I went into the CIS program there right away. I wasn't sure if software engineering would be fun necessarily, but I looked at the mean salary for the U.S. and I was like, that looks nice.
That looks fun.
And so I decided to be good at that, at least proficient. And it went really well. I'm very grateful for the professors I had at Berea. They were very patient with me when I didn't understand anything, and then very grateful to get a job once I moved to Nashville in that field.
Got you. And you, Brenna, decided to do your chemistry degree working with a hemp processing
Yeah.
lab, right? Is that right?
Yes.
And so I guess we've never handled this topic on Red Barn, so let's go with it.
Throw it out
Yes, let's throw it out there. So this is a CBD extraction operation
Yes.
in Berry Hill, Tennessee. Is a legitimate operation?
It's legit.
Okay. So is it?
I mean, as in not illegal. Is that what you mean?
No, I don't know what I mean. I'm really
It's legal.
I'm really just being a smart ass. So what I'm wondering is, is CBD is
CBD?
CBD oil? Well, is CBD oil just kind of faddish, or is it? Yeah, is it faddish or? is there
Fat-ish. Oh, I was like
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah, no,
oils
not
are
fatty.
fats, but I think it is a fad in that people are discovering that it's a legal use of the hemp plant, and it has similar medicinal properties as the other parts of the plant. And so in that respect, I think people are like, oh, I can use this, and it's nice. I think it's the best way that I've seen it work. It's just as a relaxation, like, you can just finally relax. If people with insomnia, I know it helps kids with epilepsy, with all the like seizure stuff. I think it's really beneficial for them. But I mean, I think it's like a discovery fad, but as far as people using it, I think folks that are a little more into essential oils and that kind of thing have been using it for much longer. And I think it works for different things.
Yeah, are there good sources and bad sources? I mean, I see it.
Yes.
I see it at the Shell station.
And Shell Station
I-
gummies are not really gonna. I think they're probably mostly full of sugar. So
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend those if you're trying to get actual results.
Okay. Well, thanks for fielding my questions
Yes.
about CBD.
She's
'cause
also
I do have
not a
some
doctor,
questions.
so we're not trying to tell anybody.
Yeah, I'm just a chemist.
to use
not a
anything
doctor.
Disclaimer.
I'm just a
specific.
scientist.
That's
No prescription here.
Yeah, I actually brought some for my friend tonight. She's sitting out here. I grew up with her, and so I'm gonna try it out for some migraines. It's worked for me. I've had migraines my whole life, and it's really. I wasn't even using it for that, but I noticed that I've only had one for the last like 6 months instead of
Oh, wow.
like 12. So that's
All
cool.
right. Well, that's
You
that seems like a good endorsement.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'd love to go to Nashville now, and you all decided to go down there to pursue your careers, I assume, so that you could also pursue this. And how is that going? I mean, what have you learned in Nashville that you might not have learned had you decided to go to Dayton or
Yeah,
Kalamazoo
the
or something.
biggest thing about Nashville for me was that the talent that's there. It's the best musicians that I can imagine in the field that we play in roots music and country music and honestly a lot of other genres as well. Nashville's not just country music. All live there and all participate there in a community. We've been very grateful to be welcomed and respected in some sense in that community for different things, songwriting and just our drive to succeed in music specifically. And we've got really great friends and support there who have helped us every step of the way, whether it was finding an engineer or we self-produced our first record, so we didn't go with a label. That's always a question, and a lot of those questions get answered over time. Yeah. Yes. And but again, I think the talent was what was most surprising. And this is true for probably anybody who plays music in their hometown, or in a smaller place. It's a big fish, small pond idea. And if you're gaining traction in your hometown, you want to take that to the next level. Nashville's a good place to go to see how you measure up, really, with the rest of the industry.
It seems like it's been a good experience for you. Neither of you seems bitter or tired, or you just seem like you're. I mean, I'm sure you feel that from time to time, but
A little tired all the time.
It's all that CBD.
All that CBD, I'm just like a zombie. Is that zombie? I guess. But anyway, I don't really know. I didn't watch things like that growing up, but.
But you have the routine experience of seeing some just top shelf,
Oh, man.
players
Yeah,
and.
Like, I thought it was going to be way more. I think maybe the country scene is a little competitive, as in not as welcoming, but the bluegrass community is extremely close. And you can meet people that have Grammys and are just normal as apple pie, just walking around, and they'll talk to you. And I mean, that was a big opportunity for us. That helped introduce us into bluegrass outside of Berea was when Rhonda Vincent came to Berea to perform. She's like the queen of bluegrass, and she, just talked to us and encouraged us to keep going and everything. And so it's just folks like that along the way that you're like, oh, well, you're like a fancy person, and you're just talking to me over here, if I have the courage to talk to you. And so it's been, I was scared of Nashville for the size of the city and the highways. It took me like a year to get around and not be really frustrated in a one-way street somewhere calling Theo, but I can't find a wheel. Now I can get places.
What part of Nashville do you live in? What side?
We live south of Nashville. Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever asked yourself what it would be like to be there without, a job in computer science and a job as a chemist?
Might be on the corner.
Yeah.
I think we would. It's an interesting question as far as that goes, because it's hard to make money in music. It just is.
Especially bluegrass.
The industry changes, and songwriting is not worth what it used to be. But if we we're only pursuing music, if we didn't have that skill set outside of music, I think it would just look different and it would be higher stakes. Like, I think we would probably approach it roughly the same way, but we probably would both be looking for publishing deals to write more. We would probably be looking to play more in the studio, because there's a lot of money in the studio. But without the need to make that money day to day, we don't have to focus on that stuff, which can be a blessing and a curse. That, you know, we really only focus now on our band and our sound, and we do write a lot with our friends. We do co-writes, but other than that, we're not required.
Ourselves out for a little bit of work in other bands or studio here and there.
Occasionally.
But it's nice to not, you know, struggle, I guess, as a starting out musician, because you can, you know, focus on just, you go to work, make your money, and then you can use all of that money to work on your dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams.
Yeah. Those things. Theo and Brenna, thank you all for coming up from Nashville to be on Red Barn Radio.
It's great to be here.
Really nice to have you all here. Really enjoyed talking with you both, and look forward to hearing some more music now.
Thanks,
Let's
Brad.
get back to Theo and Brenna McMillan.
This is a Willie Nelson song, I like him, written by Paul Kraft. That's all I'm going to say. It's sad. Postman delivered a past due bill notice. The alarm clock rang 2 hours late. The garbage man, he left all the trash in the sidewalk, and the hinges fell off of the gate. This morning at breakfast, I spilled all my coffee, and I opened the door on my knees. The last thing I needed, the first thing this morning, was to have you walk out on me. Last night you came home late. I could tell you'd been drinking from that old mellow look on your face. I thought it don't matter, 'cause it's the holiday season, and you feel such a big empty space. So I lay down beside you. I wanted your loving, 'cause your love makes my life complete. The last thing I needed, the first thing this morning, was to have you walk out on me. The last thing I needed, the first thing this morning, was to have you walk out on me.
We've been very honored to be here tonight at Red Barn Radio in Lexington, Kentucky, very close to our hometown of Winchester. And we're going to do a song that is off the record. We got a few more for you tonight. This one is the last track that we put on the record, and almost the last second edition right before we released it.
Yeah, we just slapped it right on there.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
To the old rugged cross I will ever be true, its shame and reproach glad to bear. Then he'll call me someday to my home far away, where his glory forever I'll share. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down.
I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Thank you very much. Song is near and dear to us. It's probably very high up on both of our favorite hymns list. And this next one is also has religious undertones, I would suppose. It's one I wrote, inspired by some of my favorite childhood musicians, Stephen Kirsch Chapman, Fran Ortega, Michael Card, some of those guys, and Andrew Peterson and the like. I wrote this one about 5 years ago.
Face down in the dirt by the front porch, you found me. Lost and alone, I had fallen outside your door. And the moment that I saw your face, and I knew it was over, that you picked me up and carried me down to the water, down to the river, washed in the water. Washed in the river of life can be over. Life can be over, but just for the moment it still isn't over. It's here in the water, here in the river of life. Now I find a light in the darkness and hope in the night. As I walk in the newness of life, would you promise me that every single time you find me back where I started, that you'll pick me up and carry me down to the water, down to the river, washed in the water, washed in the river of life can be over. Life can be over, but just for the moment still isn't over. It's here in the water, here in the river of life. Here in the river of life.
Down to the river, washed in the water.
In the
Washed in the
river of
life
life.
can be over.
It could be
Life
over,
can be over.
but just for the moment it still isn't over. It's here in the water, here in the river of life.
Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Theo and Brenna for being with us this evening. We also thank our volunteers for their help with our production each week. We give a very special thanks to Nick Lazaroff for his production photography. And thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube Live, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, public radio for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.fm. It's your chance to hear more great live Kentucky music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU.
We also thank the members of our studio audience. It's folks like you who actively support the mission of Red Barn Radio by attending our broadcasts and supporting the great artists of this Kentucky region. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. Tickets for Red Barn Radio are now available on eventbrite.com Lexington.
Red Barn Radio is on a midwinter break for the next 2 weeks. We wish you all the very best of holidays and a happy new year. We return with all new programs, beginning with the Michelle Canning Band on January 8th, 7 p.m. on the Red Barn stage. So once again, please give it up for Theo and Brenna here on the Red Barn stage.
One, two, three.
I'm a drifter, I'm a broken heart on the way to another letdown. I'm a stray dog, I'm a lost exile, every single mile, every single town. Without you, without you. Send me your love on the telephone line, send me your love in the wind. Call me out of this wilderness, I can't wait to see you again. When the music is over and I'm out on the road, going back to where I've been. Send me your love, send me your love, send me your love in the wind. Well, the wind blows wherever it goes, and nobody knows, and it's gone. Like a spirit, I'm pulling you close, and with you I'm carried along, farther along. I know all about it, farther along and wide. I'm out here, driving the road and making the most of my time without you, without you. Well, send me your love on the telephone, send me your love in the wind. Call me out of this wilderness, I can't wait to see you again. When the music is over and I'm out on the road, going back to where I've been. Send me your love, send me your love, send me your love. Oh, send me your love on the telephone line, send me your love in the wind. Call me out of this wilderness, I can't wait to see you again. And when the music is over and I'm out on the road, going back to where I've been. Send me your love, send me your love, send me your love. Oh, send me your love, send me your love in the wind.
Well, folks, that's all of Red Barn Radio for this week from Lexington, Kentucky. Enjoy this program worldwide every Wednesday evening as we stream live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern North America time. Our program is also available on the WEKU app. Check out Red Barn Radio on demand. All of us here, from our volunteers and partners to our production staff and crew, we wish you a great week, and we look forward to having you back with us again after break for another night of great Kentucky music on Red Barn Radio.